It also seems to me that this is another precedent being set, the precedent of kind of marginalizing, as you say, the Park Advisory Commission. What about the process? Were they involved in this process?
No. No, not in terms of the development.
Development,
no.
or any say in the beginning phases? No.
No. In fact, the beginning phases started even before the voters voted on the ballot initiative in 2008. We know that the mayor met with the regents and asked for consideration for the university to not build a parking structure in the Wall Street and Maiden Lane area. And soon after that, we had our vote. And soon after that, there was a group of people who got together and put together these conceptual plans that designate Fuller Road as the location for a very large parking structure. So that it means we don't have a parking structure in a neighborhood, which I appreciate any neighborhood not wanting to have a parking structure, but now we as the citizens of Ann Arbor have a parking structure in our park. And I want to just amplify on one thing that John said earlier, that in terms of the city not following its own requirements, is that there is some regulation. I can't cite this one real precisely right now, but it says that parks will not have a structure built in them that is not related to park functions.
Yes.
And a parking structure of this size is clearly not related to the parks in the Huron River Valley.
Right.
And that's where the city has said, we don't have to follow our own rules. We're going to move forward with this regardless of the zoning, regardless of what the rules say about parks. I find that very disappointing, and I think it breaks the compact with the citizens in terms of what our public officials are doing for us.
Right. I want to, I'm sorry. Go,
No,
you have just a few minutes left, and I...
Okay, no one.
Oh, in just a few minutes left, I did want to bring up the fact of the meeting last night, that there was a presentation from the city and the university on this parking garage, because that is what they showed. And can you just, John, you weren't there, so I'm going to ask Rita, just kind of generalize the reaction of all the people who were there?
Well, the focus of the presenters, I believe, was to get people's feedback on the architectural design of the structure that was presented to them. There were quite a few people at the meeting who instead reacted to the process relating to this structure. Some of them commented that they didn't like the design. Some of them commented that this isn't a gateway item that we'd like in our community. Who wants to be remembered for a parking structure? I don't think that's what Ann Arborites think of themselves when they think of themselves and how we present. And so there was that, and then there was a big amount of disappointment in commenting on the process, how we as citizens have been presented to many times. In many of the meetings that I've attended, we've been asked to write questions and comments on cards that were then responded to by presenters, and then no dialogue.
Right. So I was there, and I agree with you. I think whether it was on process, whether it was on the actual structure, whether some referred to it as a bait and switch, that really that this is just another park and ride. Others said it was a stripped down garage, that we don't have funding, and even Peter Pollack said the valley should be entry to the city, not the architecture. So it was an interesting meeting. In the just the few minutes that we have left, is there any take-home message that you want to give everyone?
Well, first off, I just want to say that at the meeting last night, they fully acknowledged that there's no train station coming.
That's
and
right.
so it is a parking structure right now. But I do think that people, if they want to do something to comment on this, that they should contact their city council people, write them a letter, go to the city website, a2gov.org, find the department, city council, and scroll down and find your council members and write, or call them. There's also a website that has information on from the group of people who've been working on this. It's called, the call letters are http://a2fits.weebly.com.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave it there. We've kind of run out of time, but I want to thank you, Rita and John, very much for being here and for really, as John said, taking the veil off this parking garage and seeing it for what it really is and the danger of the precedent that is being set. So thank you very much. And to you, our audience, I want to thank you for watching and giving us your support. Let's hear from you. Send us an email. I look forward to your comments and to your suggestions and to your points of view on our topics. We want to hear from you. You know, we're always glad to hear other perspectives. Thank you for watching. And thank you.